going to turn. See if we can at least get out. Well, hello, baseball fans, and welcome to this technically challenged broadcast of Lamar Viking Varsity Baseball. We are having, I know, picture video problems. I think it's the software for the broadcast, the OBS software, because we've been playing with the camera, and it looks like our live timekeeping is jumping around some. So hopefully you're hearing us. And I apologize, the picture's going to go in and out. Don't know what is causing it for sure. We've done technical support with my son David, who was here last week and helped us get everything set up, and he did an awesome job of troubleshooting for us over the telephone a little while ago.
But we do have a baseball game with a runner on third already here in the top of the first. Might mention that real quick on a 1-2 count to the third hole hitter.
Fly ball that's going to get blown foul. It goes over the fence, but in foul territory. The wind took that one, Brent, I believe. If there was no wind or just blowing straight to the east, that would have been a home run.
Well, we didn't have a chance to set the game up, but that is Isaiah Henderson, who unquestionably has all the power that you could possibly want in a hitter, and he is definitely somebody that has no trouble lifting the ball out of the ballpark.
1 ball and 2 strikes. The count still. The 1-2 pitch goes high, and the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's a runner on third for Bowie, 1 out, no score yet. Top of the first inning here at the Lamar Viking Diamond in North Arlington, Texas. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Goes low. The count goes full. So the guy that we're looking at, Brent, you were talking about, he's also their starting pitcher tonight.
And
he's had a knee, and he's had a knee tweak here in the last couple of weeks.
He has, but it doesn't seem to be affecting much from what I've seen both tonight and Tuesday night at Bowie.
So he just walked, and that's probably not the worst thing that could happen right now. Seeing the power of that foul ball that almost went home run.
Yeah.
Number 7, designated hitter Roman Ortega.
But so, I think with that hitter, you've got to be very careful what you pitch to him, obviously.
So the number 4 hitter, DH for Bowie, comes on. 1 out, runners on the corners. That pitch is outside. I think that was a ball.
I thought he called strike.
Oh, okay. No, see, he said, he did that thing where he moves his hand to the right like a strike, and that happened to me last night.
Yep.
So Brock Jackson, the catcher. Oh, nice play by the third baseman, and it's a double play to end the inning. Holy cow. We'll describe it. The bang, bang, double play ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on base. There's no score. So, Brent, for us to paint the picture what just happened, runners on the corners, ground ball that bounced once. The third baseman, Colt McKay, grabbed that ball. He tagged the runner that was off of third base, taking a little bit of a lead. That's 1 out. Then he throws to Ransom Burns at first base, and he tags the batter going to first.
The throw from Colton was a little bit off target, and he was off the bag. So Ransom had the wherewithal to very athletically reach over and tag that batter because he was off the base. Of course, naturally that would have been a force out, but it all happened so quickly that bad luck for Bowie, but good luck for Lamar. Oh, my.
In the top of the first inning, no runs, 1 hit, 1 left on base. There's no score. All right, Brent, we are back live. Hopefully people are getting audio. First pitch misses for ball one to Jackson Davis, second baseman. Leading off tonight, I think this might be the first time he's led off in a while, if not all of district play at least.
Yeah, he's kind of been in and out of the lineup a little bit, but he's accustomed to this spot in the lineup.
That pitch is in there for strike one, evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike.
There we go.
A base hit into left field, so a leadoff single for Davis. Leadoff single for Jackson Davis. The next batter, number 3, Jacob Greco.
It's always nice when you hit early in the batting order and go ahead and set the tone. We know we've had some games where they've had trouble doing that.
First pitch in there for strike one. That's true. Yeah, getting the leadoff guy on is definitely a big thing.
Both pitchers are working the outside part of the strike zone, and it looks like they've both figured out the umpire's fairly receptive to that spot.
And it's good to get the no-hitter gone on the first batter.
That's right.
Pitch back or throw back over to first base, not in time. Jackson Davis gets back. Count no balls and 1 strike to Jacob Greco. I'm still getting some things in order here. And that pitch is in there for strike 2.
Bill, this is the same pitching battle that we had last year on the ballpark here, Lamar versus Bowie. Isaiah Henderson versus Luke Lazier, where that game was an 11-inning affair. So,
which is 4 extra innings, by the way, in high school baseball.
It was a very long game, and I think we'd be okay if it got settled through 7 innings.
Well, that foul ball came back, went right up the net. I didn't know if it was going to come back over, but it stayed in the field of play.
But this Bowie team really goes as Isaiah Henderson, the pitcher, and a hitter hitting 455 goes. They do have 5 other guys batting over 300, so definitely a very good team. Not to let the Tuesday score fool you, where Lamar had pretty good control of that game. This team's got a lot of good players.
1 ball and 2 strikes. The runner goes. Ground ball hit to the second baseman. He bobbles it. Can't get the lead runner, but he does throw to first. And on the stretch, the out is made on the 4-3 play. But we have a man on second in scoring position now for Brock Jackson. The catcher, number 24, Brock Jackson. Brock Jackson steps up to the plate now with a runner in scoring position for the Vikings with 1 out. First pitch, I guess, missed for ball 1.
Apparently missed.
Yeah.
Very. That was inside some of the called strikes, closer to the plate, but called for ball 1.
We're still trying to figure this umpire out, and we're waiting for his calls before we say anything. Swing and a miss for strike 1, 1 ball and 1 strike.
But going back to the play to the second baseman, since we don't have the video, it was a pretty routine backhand that he did not field cleanly. That should have been a very routine double play. They got the out at first, but not the out at second.
Pitch goes inside, it jams him, he pops it straight up in the air. Third baseman comes into the grass for out number 2. batter, designated hitter Colton Quesada. All right, Colton Quesada. He was our pitcher Tuesday night in the win over at Bowie. The usual Tuesday night pitcher. He steps up to the plate. 2 outs, a runner at second base for the Vikings. See if he can get a base hit and bring this guy in, get a lead. Yeah, our camera's working properly. It's got a good picture here. There's that pitch goes outside and misses for ball 1. But there's something that's snagging between the software and the YouTube broadcast. So again, hopefully our audio is getting out. And yes, thank you, Donna and Decatur, for letting us know the audio is coming through okay.
You can always count on Donna.
That's right. That pitch low and outside for ball 2. This pitcher, we've seen some people that quick pitch. This guy's the complete opposite, Isaiah. He's and nothing bad. I'm not being mean. It's just he takes his time, very deliberate. Foul ball that goes out of play back over the visitor stands, and the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike.
He's got a fastball that's 90-ish plus, and it's definitely with the help and wind going to look even faster. Than what it already is. Wind coming in from the south. Like it does a lot of times here, so advantage to the pitcher.
The 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss, evens up the count at 2-2. Oh, they caught the Jackson Davis, our runner, caught the pitcher and catcher, and I guess really the pitchers. No, the kick. Who has the ball? I guess the pitcher does. I didn't see it.
Well, I think the catcher held the ball, and Jackson, very astute. He and Coach Kino were looking at each other.
So he's on third base now. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And Quesada gets rung up on strike 3. So we strand that runner. No score into the first inning. We'll be back. Leading off for Bowie in the top of the second inning, first baseman number 19, Brody Ferguson. Well, back to the broadcast, and I'm sorry we're giving y'all audio only for the most part, if not completely. First pitch from Luke Lazier to Brody Ferguson, starting off the top of the second, strike 1. Ferguson, a right-handed batter, plays first base. Number 5 hitter overall. That pitch goes foul. Bounced off the plate, I think, up into his right bicep and then back onto the ground.
Couldn't have felt good.
No. So it's bad enough if a pitcher hits you with a ball, but when you hit yourself with a foul ball like that.
Friendly fire, is that what they call it?
Looking for something here on the 0-2 pitch. Lazier offers it up. High, ball one. The 1-2 pitch, ground ball to the shortstop, picks it up, throws in plenty of time. That was a nice throw. Stepping up to the plate, number 15, right fielder Jason Wheeler. Well, every so often, a picture shows up, but it's freezing up some. We will keep painting the picture for you so you know what's going on. First pitch, strike one to the number 6 batter overall, second batter of the inning. There's no score, top of the second inning. Pitch misses, low for ball one, 1 ball and 1 strike.
I guess we'll see how the game develops, but so far we've seen called strikes in a lot of different parts of the plate.
Yeah, it's would you say it's kind of inconsistent?
Yeah, I mean we'll see if he kind of picks some favorites, but
that pitch is low for ball two, 2 balls and 1 strike. Go ahead.
We've definitely probably seen more balls that appear a little bit outside. Of course, we can't quite see the full plate, in fairness, but I think we're always looking for patterns to develop.
Foul ball that goes screaming over the broadcast booth back towards the softball field. And the count evens up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Neon night here at the ballpark tonight. You and I both wore bright yellow shirts.
We did our part.
Yeah. There's a base hit down the third base line. Just stays fair. That's going to be a double, it looks like, for Brady Ferguson. Both base hits for Bowie tonight are doubles. In the first inning, they ended up getting him out on an interesting double play.
Another very sharply hit ball, no doubt about it, on the third base side, on the pull side for a right-handed batter.
Number 12, the catcher, Roberto De Leon. So now a runner in scoring position on second base for Bowie, 1 out. Luke Lazier offers up the first pitch, strike 1, swing and a miss. I don't think he tipped that, did he?
No.
Just a pure swing and a miss, yeah. Always thought it's interesting, a foul tip on strike 1 or strike 2 that ends up in the catcher's glove is not an out, but if it's on strike 3, it's an out.
That's correct, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a called strike, so no balls and 2 strikes.
Outside part of the plate, very good pitch.
And Brock did a good job framing that.
Yes.
I think he should maybe rotate the glove a little more, but he's getting there. Does a great job behind the plate.
Great job.
Check swing. Brock appeals to the field umpire who doesn't, he wasn't even paying attention.
He wasn't looking?
No. I mean, he just kept that crouched down, hands on his thighs.
Of course, the runner's in second, so the field umpire is positioned between the pitcher and the base runner.
Yeah.
At second.
One ball.
I was going to say at first, Brock popped up looking down the first base line, but that's not where he is right now.
1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch. Outside, and it made Brock's glove carry it outside further. I think that might have been what swayed
But Mr. Umpire took
a
very, very hard look at that one.
He did.
Strongly considered the opposite call. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Lazier steps off the rubber as he rotates around and looks at second base.
Rung him up there, Bill. Just a beautiful breaking ball for Luke Lazier. That was swing and a miss for strike 3. That's 2 outs. Runner remains on second.
The next batter, number 6, shortstop Andrew Vega.
It's always good to get a strikeout for your second out. And got the
definitely
no force outs other than going to first.
That pitch tails off outside for ball one. Thank you, David, for letting us know the sound is very clear. Appreciate that.
Just have to go into your radio broadcast mode, Bill. You gotta get off your.
That's right.
We know you have TV good looks, but we.
Oh, no, I've got a face for radio. That pitch misses low for ball two. And we'll try to get the little scoreboard thing running for you soon, just so you can at least see that in the picture. That pitch misses high. The count goes to 3-0. So Lazier in danger of walking a batter here. That would put runners at first and second. 2 outs.
This ought to be there. Is this their 7th or 8th batter? Whole batter?
This is number 8. You're correct. That pitch catches that lower right-hand corner of the strike zone. That's that gray area, right, Brent? We don't know.
That's that 3-0 phenomenon. If you throw a pitch anywhere near the plate,
it's going to be a strike.
It's going to be a called strike.
So it's 3 balls and 1 strike now. Here's the pitch. Oh.
Our shortstop friend, or the batter, has taken 2 walks down the first baseline, looking for a walk that neither one of them worked out for him.
I thought that last one might have been ball 4. Anyway, it's full count, waiting on the payoff pitch here with 2 outs. Runner on second. Swing and a miss for strike 3. What a way to end that inning. We'll be back. Leadoff single in the top or bottom of the second inning for Colton McKay. The next Viking to the plate, first baseman Ransom Burns. So Ransom Burns steps up to the plate after a leadoff single by Colton McKay. Pitch just goes outside.
But I think what you're seeing play out here, Bill, is what was talked about in the coaches show and what Coach Kiner was urging almost every batter at the game Tuesday night to be aggressive, swing the bat, and you're seeing a lot of first pitch hits here and getting a lot of contact.
Ground ball to the shortstop. He'll step on second himself, throws over just in time to get the double play. So basically it's a G6-6-3.
Ball hit up the middle by Ransom. Pretty hard, but a pretty easy play by the shortstop to turn the double play.
Batting next for the Vikings, number 15, Left fielder Connor Bushell. Little bouncer that goes foul just off the third base line.
But this is back-to-back weeks, Bill. If you want to talk about the best pitchers in the district, you know, to face Danny Bustamante here and then come back with Isaiah Henderson, you know, for the teams that play in our district. Of course, we've got Colt Casada and other good pitchers, but this is a pretty tall task to back-to-back weeks for this Vikings team.
Swing and a miss for strike 3. And that retires the side. No score. We'll be back. Leading off for Bowie in the top of the third inning, number 3, left fielder Alex Rojas.
First pitch a little high for ball 1. Top of the third inning. Pretty much the same pitch twice. High in the strike zone, fastball for ball 2.
2 balls and no strikes, top of the third inning. And David says if either one of us has time to call him during a half-inning break, he has one more idea, by the way. Coach Goodman, the pitching coach, coming out to talk to Lazier. Ransom Burns coming in from first. Brock Jackson, the catcher, comes up to the mound also.
You know, we talked to David as a former catcher last week about what some of these mound visits are about. And, you know, this is early in the game for a mound visit, but clearly Coach Goodman, the pitching coach for Lamar, has seen something that he wants to talk to Luke about, reinforce. He's definitely talking only to Luke. No one else is talking. See what the next pitch looks like.
You know, it's tough when everything is set, the broadcast, the camera, everything, the sound check went well, and then all of a sudden we have camera problems.
Haywire.
Yeah, right when we're about to go
you said
live.
David has another idea. That'd be one more idea than you and I have.
That's true. That's exactly true. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Whatever the talk was, it must have helped for at least that pitch because it let look off speed there a little bit.
Maybe a changeup.
Yeah. The number 9 hitter overall leading off here in the top of the third inning. Pitch goes high and outside, or at least outside for ball three balls and one strike. The 3-1 pitch, swung on a miss, strike two. The count goes full.
Struck him out. Outside pitch.
Did he swing?
He did.
I was looking down.
He did not swing.
Now batting number 5, Jackson Turner.
Second time we've seen him come back. You know, he came back from a 3-0 count, came back from a 3-1 count, right after the mound visit and threw 3 straight strikes.
I think there was one ball in there because the count was 2-0. Yeah. Wow, that pitch was in the lowest part of the strike zone possible, and it's strike one. So Jackson Turner led off with a double back in the top of the first inning. Got out at third on an unusual double play. There's strike two called.
You know, another curveball, not what the batter's looking for. He's not going to swing at that. He's going to sit back and wait for what he's looking for.
Ground ball. It's going to go for a base hit.
Which is that fastball
just into right field.
That
Yep.
he just got. Didn't appear to be a play at first by Ransom to get to that ball. Hit a little closer to the first base side.
Number 11, Christian Uribe. So Christian Uribe comes up to the plate. He had a little, it wasn't really a actual bunt, but it went to the pitcher. He didn't really bunt, I don't think.
No, he did not.
But it went to the pitcher, and it was forced out. Put out at first base.
He got him.
Lazier throws out the runner at first. And that takes care of the base runner. And now the bases are empty.
And that wasn't particularly close. That was one that he was definitely out. I don't think he quite made it back to the bag, and Ransom tagged him right in the helmet.
And what's really wild is that throw was in the perfect spot where it needs to be for
Very
Ransom
quick
to
move.
sweep through.
You know, we saw Tuesday night there was a lot of close plays at first from Colt Casada to Ransom. So it's nice for them to see one here happen.
First pitch here after the pickoff at first base, ball one. Swing and a miss for strike one. The count evens up at 1-1 strike.
And one thing that second out could mean is that if you could get this batter, you won't have to face Isaiah Henderson this inning until next, because he's in the on-deck circle.
The 1-1. Swing and a miss for strike two. Lazier looking good on that pitch. Boy, ever since the visit from Goodman out to the mound.
He just had some magic words. I'm sure it's mostly encouragement.
Oh, yeah. Here comes the 1-2. That hangs high for ball two. 2 balls and 2 strikes. What's it going to be for the 2-2? Rung him up. Well, they don't score any runs. They have a base hit, but he's picked off at first. No one stranded. It's still no score. We'll be back. Vikings in the bottom of the third inning, Logan Archibald. Well, here we are in the bottom of the third inning. No score. Logan Archibald steps up to the plate, and he looks at ball one. He's batting 8th tonight overall. And that pitch missed. Ball two. There's strike one.
I think that was in the, I guess we'll call that politely the lowest part of the strike zone.
That hit bounces off the pitcher's glove, and he is safe at first.
It deflected off his glove. I think he thought that the ball went far enough to where the second baseman would fill in.
Luke Lazier. We are back, hopefully with sound again. We're trying to fix some technical difficulties. First pitch to Isaiah Henderson, who is the Bowie pitcher and also one of their star hitters, misses for ball one.
One of the first pitches we've seen inside of the plate called strike. No swing. 1-1's the count.
The 1-1 pitch inside, instead of brushing him back, made him twist around, and the count goes to 2-1. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of maybe not exactly pitch around him, but don't give him anything easy. Pitch. The umpire, I thought he was going to he's coiling up to call strike.
He definitely
and
did.
he didn't. The count goes to 3-1. Now, I'll say this, knock on wood, I'll jinx it, but the scoreboard doesn't seem to be lagging too bad
No, the
so far.
scoreboard is the only thing working great.
But now that we probably jinx that.
Yeah.
Isaiah Henderson calls time. It's granted. He doesn't really step out. He just relaxes his stance. Here comes the pitch. High fly ball into foul territory off the first base line. Ransom Burns gives chase and catches it at the bullpen wall. That is a great out.
Great concentration. Looked that all the way into the glove, up against the bullpen fence.
Yeah, and he did a 180.
He had one hand on the bullpen fence and stabilized himself.
Number 7, Roman Ortega. I mean, that was a beautiful catch. And like you said, the concentration as he spun around and the glove just over the bullpen wall, that pitch high, ball one. That's an important out. Leadoff hitter, it's Isaiah Henderson, yeah.
So far, and I hate to just make so much about Isaiah, but they've got 5 other guys in their team that have batting averages in the 300s, so it isn't like there's not other guys in this team that can do damage, because they can.
Swing and a miss for strike one. 1 ball and 1 strike. We're in the top of the 4th inning. The game moved along pretty quickly. We're about 53 or so minutes into the game, maybe less. That pitch drops low for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Would say that both pitchers have pretty good command so far. Both have 4 strikeouts, maybe a walk, one walk for Luke, and no walks for Isaiah Henderson, but a game is being pitched very well so far.
That pitch inside for ball 3. I was waiting to see what the umpire called. Clouds are kind of forming up a little bit, almost overcast looking. The wind has quit blowing directly into our broadcast booth. And that pitch is ball 4, and that's one of those that has sometimes been called a strike.
Yeah, you're right. That was one we've seen called strike before.
Number 19, Brody Ferguson. So And just as I said, the wind's not blowing into the booth. Here it comes.
The gust comes straight
Just
in.
turned. Top of the fourth inning, no score. A real pitcher's duel. No one's had more than one. They might have had two base runners at one point. Yeah, because they got the double play. Bouncing ball to the shortstop to get the runner at second. And they turn the double play. Another inning-ending double play by the infield. The bang-bang double play ends the inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. There's still no score. Well, back to live action. Bottom of the fourth inning, no score. Greco leads off with a base hit that goes down the third base line all the way to the wall. He's running for second. He'll stop there with a leadoff double. Leadoff double for Jacob Greco. Number 24, Brock Jackson. Well, man, that is a breath of fresh air.
Another first pitch swing, and just a bullet down the third base line into the left field wall. So if nothing else, we are getting some extremely solid contact. That brings our total to 4 hits. We've had a lot of balls put in play that they've had to field, some successfully, others not, but it's good that we're getting the bat in the ball.
1 ball, no strikes. Here's a pitch. That's a base hit into left field. Greco's going to have to stop at third, and that's a smart thing to do, but we've got runners on the corners now. This is the inning we need. Oh, cool.
Got your
courtesy runner first base, Gannon Carey. The next batter, Colton Quesada. Wow. Runner goes first to second. Not going to make a throw. That holds the runner Greco at third, but now 2 runners in scoring positions.
Ball 1, I assume. I didn't see the pitch.
I didn't either. I was looking, and I didn't hear any groan.
Changer, but that pitch for Brock was between the third and short. Just a beautiful single.
That pitch outside for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes, as far as we know. Umpire hasn't told us anything different.
Around, so
yeah.
We're not in trouble yet, but we've been in trouble before.
I'm about to say key word is yet. Foul ball back to the net right in front of the visitor stands.
Let's watch his fingers now and see if we get 2-1. Well, he's definitely giving his finger signals so that the pitcher can see it, but not that we can. Notice on the last pitch.
He thought he checked his swing. I guess that was maybe a call, but he pointed to
the
the
umpire,
back.
he went.
Okay.
The umpire said that he went.
Full count. Quick pitching now. Swing and a miss for strike 3. It's drop. No, it didn't drop. Okay. Casada thought he might have dropped. He went running to first, but number 8, Colton McKay. Well, that was the first out of the inning. First pitch to Colton McKay, strike 1.
They've got to slow Isaiah down. He's starting to pitch fast. You see that Colton's spending some time out of the batter's box. Get the pace back for our hitters.
The runner comes. It's a squeeze play. It's foul back. Greco was trying to score on a squeeze play. He was almost there.
That's the second time we've seen a bunt on a fastball where the ball has popped up and back behind the first base side of home plate. So it's just hard to get that bat down in time, as hard as he's throwing it, to get that ball in play. But I think that Greco would have been there safely had he gotten it down.
That pitch, okay, missed for ball 1. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and McKay strikes out. Colton strikes out, then Colton strikes out. First baseman Ransom Burns. Two outs, 2 in scoring position, a second and third. Ransom looks at the first pitch, but it's called strike 1. A nice gap in left center field if Ransom can put one out there for a base hit. That's where he heads. It's more to left field. The left fielder turns around, but he's going to track it down for out number 3. So the Vikings strand 2 runners in scoring position. There's still no score. We'll be back. Leading off in the top of the 5th inning, number 15, Jason Wheeler. Well, Brent, we are back. Hopefully our audio is getting out now. We've been trying to manipulate some different things. Top of the 5th inning, no score. The first pitch to Wheeler is fouled back to the net right in front of the visitor stands. Wheeler got a leadoff double back in the second inning and was stranded. This is his second plate appearance tonight. He's the number 6 hitter overall, leading off here in the top of the 5th. There's a pitch that goes right down the middle for strike 2. So quickly, Luke Lazier ahead of the batter, 0-2. Wow. There's in that area that could be called a ball or a strike.
It's a little low, it appeared to from here.
So 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Wheeler. Luke Lazier doing a great job on the mound. That was down the middle. That's fouled away over towards the little transformer station next to the visitors' dugout. It goes into the soccer football practice area. The count stays at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ground ball to the second baseman. Jackson Davis throws over just in time. Nice stretch there by Ransom Burns. Kind of a dip, reach, and a stretch.
Well, no field is perfect, and that took a left turn on Jackson, but he stuck with it.
Number 12, Roberto De Leon. De Leon struck out looking back in the second inning. First pitch misses for ball 1. Did he?
It's ball too low.
Okay, I was looking down. Okay, now is it lagging?
Yes.
I'll jinx it. 2 balls and no strikes.
Announcer's jinx.
Yeah. That pitch. Oh, the umpire looked like he was about to call strike. Didn't he make that move?
I don't think he could call that one.
No. Outside for ball 3. 3 balls and no strikes.
It's outside of his strike zone, which is wide.
That pitch misses low. There's a 4-pitch walk.
That's Coach Kino coming out now.
Now, we've had some double plays, so it's not the worst thing in the world to see a runner on base. But you don't like to see the second batter on, 1 out.
Top of the 5th. I'm wondering if he's going to make a change here. That pitcher, no one's warming up, but logically, I think if he was going to make a change, it would be Ben Shryock to come in. But I think Coach Kino is allowed a mound visit without making a change. So
he is. Haven't been out there this inning. Looks like he's talking to Luke, asking some questions. Are you okay? What do you think? Doesn't take the ball away from him, so Brock kind of gives him a reassuring pat on the back. The catcher, Brock Jackson, does that. Everyone goes back to their positions after the infield all came in for the mound discussion.
Batter's number 6, I think.
Now batting number 6, Andrew Vega.
It's 2 weeks in a row. We were talking off air about black jerseys with sort of dull colored numbers. Are very difficult to see even from our spot directly behind home plate.
Vega struck out swinging back in the second inning, his second plate appearance tonight. Lazier steps off the rubber, looks at the runner at first. Here comes the pitch. Check swing. Ball 1 is low, I guess.
It was low.
1 ball and no strikes. Hopefully our audio is getting out. There's a throw over to first. It looks like it bounced right before Ransom Burns' glove at first. Runner gets back. 1 ball and no strikes. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Line drive. The shortstop takes it on a bounce, gets to force at second, and a double play again. That's a lot of double plays. Bang, bang, double play ends another inning. There's still no score. Now for the Vikings, Connor Bushell. Well, this is a fast-paced game. Just a little over an hour into it, we're already in the bottom of the fifth inning. No score. The base runners have been spread out for both teams.
Feels like a sprint to see who can keep their starting pitcher in the longest.
The Vikings have turned 3 double plays in 5 innings on defense.
And at least twice of those have been for the out 2 and out 3.
Yeah.
Or maybe all of them.
All of them have ended the inning, yeah.
2 balls to start with, both low and outside to Connor. There's a no-doubter for strike 1.
2 balls and 1 strike to Connor Bushell,
who I believe might have struck out his first time up. There you go.
Connor, just on the line. He's going to go to second.
Uh-oh.
The right fielder's still chasing it down, throws, and Connor Bushell in with a stand-up double. Leadoff stand-up double for Connor Bushell. Now batting, Logan Archibald.
Quickly going back to that hit, that was just a bullet down the first base line, just fair on the right field line for a stand-up double for Connor Bushell.
So we get the leadoff batter on. A little bunt put down nicely. That's going to be just in time to get Archibald out at first, but that moves Connor Bushell to third.
I hope I score. Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
The next Viking to the plate, Luke Lazier.
That bunt was just a little tapper that barely made it to the grass. It was actually a fairly close play at first, but nonetheless did his job, moving the runner over to third with Luke Lazier at bat.
First pitch in there for a strike. No balls and 1 strike.
It's almost like the umpire's trying to decide if it's a ball or a strike when he's midway through calling it a strike.
Yeah.
That's what that one looked like for sure.
I would agree.
I think Luke shook his head and didn't agree. Oh.
Oh, man. Connor Bushell trying to squeeze play there. And he's out.
It looks like he might have had a bunt call to the batter that maybe he didn't see.
Yeah, because I think Kino coaching at third was kind of looking at the batter
so
like,
So that was just another, squandered opportunity with
no
a runner in scoring position.
No balls and 2 strikes. There's a fly ball lifted to right field. Looks to be playable, and it is to end the inning. Still no score. We'll be back. Well, Brent, Alex Rojas, the number 9 hitter, is going to lead off here in the top of the 6th inning. We're just an hour and 10 minutes or so into this game, and we're already in the top of the 6th. But it's a real pitcher's duel tonight. Lazier's first pitch to Rojas. It's a line drive that goes for a base hit into right field. The next batter, number 5, Jackson Turner. You know, if my last name was Turner, I think I'd name a kid Bachman. And then I'd get him a car or truck that had overdrive on it.
BTO.
First pitch to Turner. Misses for ball 1. That pitch misses outside for ball 2. Brent, is our home game next week Tuesday or Friday? Tuesday? That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Flip it Tuesday versus Grand Prairie, who incidentally took Arlington to the brink on Tuesday night.
Interesting stuff.
Took a late RBI to get that game done for the Colts.
The 2-0 pitch outside. The count goes to 3-0.
So we talked between innings about the pitch counts. Luke's up to 79. Isaiah Henderson sitting at 55. You know, we've had the benefit of some double plays, keeping that pitch count low, and Henderson's had some strikeouts.
4-pitch walk. You know, we've seen that a couple of times tonight.
Twice.
The next batter will be number 11, Christian Uribe. Well, this is a little bit of a jam here with no outs, runners at first and second. Umpire goes out to break up the discussion among catcher Brock Jackson, first baseman Ransom Burns, and pitcher Luke Lazier.
We got some activity in the bullpen now, for a little update. Looks like we got several pitchers heading that direction and starting to loosen up a bit.
Uribe struck out looking in the 3rd inning. Got a force out in the 1st inning. Foul ball there in front of the visitor stand, so he's 0 for 2. No balls and 1 strike to him. Calls time. The batter does. Steps out after it's granted. No balls and 1 strike. That pitch is in there for strike 1 right on the inside edge of the plate.
Strike 2.
I'm sorry, strike 2.
The foul on the called strike.
Thank you. No balls, 2 strikes. Strike out, a ground out, a pop up. Something here would be good to get an out. Lazier steps off, looks over at second, doesn't throw. Jackson Davis does a little lap around second base. I like that.
He's fun to watch.
He is. Like you say, he's gutting it out tonight.
He is.
That pitch just misses a little bit high, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Pleasant night out here, perfect temperature.
Slight breeze now. It was very windy off and on earlier. As soon as I say that, it's going to pop up. All right, that pitch is off of Brock Jackson's glove. The runners will both advance to second and third. And now 2 in scoring position with no outs. A very rare ball that gets by the catcher, Brock Jackson.
I was just going to say, that's not – and that was a toughie, but that's usually one that he's able to stretch for and get.
So unusual, it's noteworthy. That says something about the catcher.
There for a minute,
I did too.
The angle the pitch took.
The ballerina pitch, the 2-2 coming up. Line drive that's going to go foul.
Into defensive Brock, he might have thought that pitch was going to hit the batter. Not that that made him stop, but I think it might have obstructed his vision a little bit, thinking that pitch was coming that far enough inside.
Could be. Another 2-2 pitch on the way here in a moment after Luke Lazier gets the sign. He has it, looks at third. Here comes the pitch. Low, and the count goes full. Top of the sixth inning, no score, but the Volunteers threatening here with no outs, runners at second and third. A payoff pitch on the way, and he rings him up.
I think you walk him here.
The next batter, number 9, Isaiah Henderson.
They're putting him on. They're going to put him on,
Yeah.
which I think he's accustomed to that. He doesn't like it, but
Well,
he got all dressed up for nothing. Got all geared up for nothing.
And now, whether it's him or anyone else, Brent, it might be a good thing to do because now you got to force at every bag. Now,
Right.
I know you're taking the bat away, the stick away from the heavy hitter there, but like you said, they got several.
Well, usually the next batter
Number 7, Roman Ortega.
will take that as a sign of disrespect.
Yeah,
So-
and this is their cleanup DH too, by the
We'll
way.
see how he responds.
Not just being him, you give up one run. No, I'm just kidding. Bases loaded, nobody out. I'm sorry, one out. My bad. Here's the pitch. That is strike one.
Can Lamar pull another rabbit out of the hat? We've had some rabbits pulled out of hats tonight.
We've had 3 out of 5 inning-ending double plays. Let's see
It's
what
even
happens.
hard to say.
Yeah, comes the 0-1 pitch. Ground ball that goes foul just off.
That was extremely close.
The third base coach for Bowie was, calling it fair.
Of course.
Right, of
He has
course.
to. That's-
Right. And the runners are going, except the guy at third didn't move very far.
He was watching the ball. It was coming right at him.
The runner at second was just about to third. No balls and 2 strikes. Bases loaded, 1 out.
What's your strikeout pitch? If we had David here, he might be able to tell us.
He probably would, actually, yeah. That pitch high, probably outside 2. The count goes to, is it 2-2?
1-2.
1-2. Tension is thick. Here's the 1-2. The umpire thought about it. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Is there some defensive magic in the air again?
Or could we just get a strikeout?
That would help also. Even a pop-up. Here's the pitch. It's a fly ball to left center field. Logan Archibald makes the play on it. He throws. Now they've got runners doubled up. They got 2 runners at third base. Now the runner goes to home. A throw to Ransom Burns, who comes over, and he tags out that runner. Wow, some base running tomfoolery, and that ends the inning.
And I might say that was more than a tag. That was aggressive tag, let's put it that way. We'll describe that when we come back.
An unusual double play ends the inning. There's still no score. Off for the Vikings, Jackson Davis. Brent, we will try to describe that double play here in a moment. I got it. I have some notes, and I think I'm pretty close, if not completely. Yeah. We are in the bottom of the 6th inning. There's still no score, but it's been a wild one. And I even heard someone from the stands from the Bowie side, one of the dads saying, you can't make this stuff up. Swing and a miss by Davis for strike 1. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Leadoff hitter, we'd love to see him get on somehow. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. It bounces off home plate. He's going to get on with a drop, strike 3. So a drop K, however you picture that, puts him on for Jacob Greco. Number 3, Jacob Greco. So Jacob Greco steps up to the plate with Jackson Davis, finding his way to first base on a weird drop strike 3 that bounced off the plate, really. High fly ball that's going to come foul back towards us. Hits the roof, I think, behind us, and strike 1. All right, so the way that previous inning ended, fly ball to the center fielder, Logan Archibald. A runner was staying at third, but the runner at second was going to third, so there were 2 runners there. He throws the ball in to the third baseman. The runner goes. Ransom Burns comes over from first. He gets a throw, and then he lunges and tackles. I believe it's an F8-853.
But the part you left out was the shortstop threw it to second.
Oh, that's right,
but,
yes.
There's no force out, so you quickly had to realize you had to tag somebody before someone scored.
Meanwhile,
if you're fooling around at second base.
Meanwhile, the pitcher throws over, but Jackson Davis gets back to first base in time. Waiting for the 0-1 pitch. Here it is. Ground ball to the shortstop. He picks it up, throws, gets the force at second, but they can't turn the double play. So Greco reaches on a fielder's choice. And now the coach is going to come out and say that Jackson Davis tried to take out the player, the shortstop, to break up the double play. But the umpire's saying, no, he moved over to the side. I saw him doing his hands at an angle. Number 24, Brock Jackson. All right, so Brock Jackson steps up to the plate. Greco is on at first on a fielder's choice. Jackson Davis got put out at second, but they couldn't turn a double play. Brock Jackson's first pitch outside. Greco goes to second, and he slides. And I really think that the way that the tag came down, I don't think he got him, but he's called out. So there goes the base runner. Wow.
We just aren't allowing those base runners to stay on, and unfortunately we're trying to move them around. I get that, but they're hard to come by.
And there's a called strike 1 for Brock Jackson.
And I think the first pitch was a ball, but
I think that's right.
Wouldn't swear to it.
Brock Jackson got a single back in the 4th inning and was stranded along with Greco.
It's a pretty interesting 0-0 game. Don't let the score fool you. There's been a lot of action.
Swing and a miss there. Strike 2. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
With 2 outs.
And 2 outs, yes. Here's the 2-2. Misses. The count goes full. Brock Jackson looking to see if he can start a 2-out rally here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 7 innings of regulation baseball, high school Texas play. We're barely an hour and a half into this game. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Did have a game go about an hour and a half over at Arlington High a couple week and a half ago. Fly ball that goes into shallow center field, but the center fielder makes a running play and catches it for out number 3. Still no score. Leading off in the top of the 7th inning for Bowie, number 19, Brody Ferguson. Well, Brent, I think we're doing well for a radio-only broadcast with no viable video going out at all.
As we sit here in the top of the 7th, it's taken me 6.5 innings, or the better part of 6 innings, to realize that Colton Casada is not playing in the field today.
Yeah, he's a DH only. A DH.
Now, the reason I bring that up is because he got taken out of the game the other night with arm soreness after 59 pitches, a game that he ordinarily would have finished. So something to kind of pay attention to.
Yeah. No balls, 1 strike. There's another foul ball the opposite direction.
And I only say that because he's our Tuesday pitcher, and maybe it's just, hey, let's not aggravate it.
Yeah, give that arm a rest.
So without knowing the details.
No balls, 2 strikes to Brody Ferguson, the leadoff hitter this inning. Bouncing ball just over the reach of Luke Lazier on the mound. Jackson Davis throws quickly, and Ransom Burns scoops it up. The next batter, number 15, Jason Wheeler. Jason Wheeler steps up to the plate. I think he's looking for a first time on base now. Grounded out to the second baseman back in the 5th inning. That pitch inside. Man, didn't that umpire look like he was coiling up?
But going back to that last play, the little chopper went just past Luke. Tough play for Jackson. Throwing off his back foot a little low, and Ransom picked it right off the dirt for out 1.
The 1-0 pitch misses low, bounces away from Brock, but no one on base, so no harm, no foul there.
We've got in the bullpen, looks like we've got, this is interesting. We've got Grafton Owens warming up.
Huh.
But I think he's warming up to possibly play shortstop.
Okay.
If Ben comes in, would be my guess.
2 balls, no strikes, 1 out, nobody on.
Not that Grafton can't pitch, because he can pitch, but I think he's maybe warming up his arm. for Ben to resume duties on the mound, who is currently playing shortstop.
That would make sense, wouldn't it? Yeah.
It's either that or Colton McKay.
3-0 pitch down the middle, strike one.
And incidentally, Colton McKay came in Tuesday night and pitched 3 really, really good innings after Colton was out.
Wasn't he magnificent over at Bowie the other night?
He was good.
Colton relieving Colton. Swing and a miss for strike two. The count goes full. I want to thank Donna for reassuring that our audio is getting out just a little while ago. She goes, the wow, wow, wow comment, which...
We have to bring her on staff.
Right, yeah. The 3-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Number 12, Roberto De Leon. Oh, but here comes the mound visit. Goodman walking kind of slowly out. The whole infield comes in. This might be the change. No, what's interesting, I know I'd stopped and almost invited you with a pause to speak, but, you know, Lazier got behind in that count, didn't he?
It was a 3-0 count, and that's not the first time he's gotten a strikeout. He's gotten a strikeout with being down 3-0 and also being down 3-1. But a much-needed second out here in the top of the 7th to try to give looks like he's not going to make a change.
Okay.
Coach Goodman was the one out at the mound, so.
Well, with 2 outs and nobody on, maybe you go ahead, as long as he's not hurting, maybe you go ahead and say, can you finish this off?
Arm?
Yeah.
You're at 102 pitches where it sits right now.
And
Coach Kino is maybe asking some questions about he might be overruling Coach Goodman.
well, and it could be a pitch count factor. And I think that's what's probably happening here. Lazier coming off the mound with, let's see, how many strikeouts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6.
According to Game Changer, they've got him for 6 strikeouts and 5 walks, 103 pitches.
But he got guys that hit into these double plays.
But
That's
he is going to go with Ben Shryock. This is almost like a deja vu from last season. It was Luke as the starter, and Ben came in this time last year. Same matchup.
I don't want to go 11 innings this time. We'll be back after a moment. Okay, well, Brent, tell us what's happening in the field here.
Well, we've got Grafton Owings has resumed duties at shortstop for Ben Shryock, who was playing shortstop. Ben will come in to get this third out, and hopefully the last out we'll need for us to win it in the bottom of the 7th would be our preference.
First pitch from Shryock to Roberto De Leon. Swing and a miss, strike one. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Shryock can come on in and get, I think it may have been a pitch count factor that took Lazier out.
I think you're right.
Swing and a miss for strike 2. De Leon is the number 7 hitter overall. He's the number 3 hitter this inning. No balls, 2 strikes. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. Outside. Just outside, barely.
Did not miss much. We've seen some of those called.
1 ball and 2 strikes now. The 1-2 pitch checks his swing. They don't appeal to first. I saw you motion.
It was about a quarter swing.
Yeah. And the count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here comes the 2-2. In that same spot out there, Brock Jackson tries to frame it. Nothing doing. Count goes full now after being ahead this time. 0-2, now 3 straight balls, and it's a full count. The payoff pitch from Shryock. Foul ball. The batter De Leon stays alive. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Another payoff pitch on its way. Fly ball to right field. It is caught for out number 3 by Jacob Greco. Still no score. We'll be going into the bottom of the 7th. Well, Colton Casada is going to lead off for the Vikings here in the bottom of the 7th inning. There is no score. Doesn't get much closer than this, Brent.
It doesn't.
First pitch, high fly ball to deep left field. It looks to be playable, and it is. First pitch out on the F7.
Very well hit ball.
Number 8. Colton McKay. Colton followed by Colton at bat. Reaches out, fouls that one back to the backstop. No balls and 1 strike.
Colton did, if we had a warning track, I think that would have been all the way to the warning track. Very well hit ball by Colton Casada, just a little wind, keeping that ball in the ballpark.
Yeah, that was a deep hit ball, deeply hit ball. That pitch misses outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. My mom would be proud of me for correcting to use the adverb instead of the adjective. She was an English major, and we all grew up learning proper English. I think that was a swing and a miss, and off of the
catcher mask.
Yeah. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ransom Burns, the on-deck batter, goes to pick up that foul ball.
But a very clean game, no errors to this point by either team. 6
Yeah.
hits for the Vikings, 4 hits for the Volunteers.
Some incredible 4-inning ending double plays for the Viking defense.
Really a lot of good defense for both teams. We've had the double plays. They've had some very nice plays in the field as well.
2-2 pitch on its way. That's, oh, what? That was low. The next batter, Ransom Burns. Swing and a miss for strike one by Ransom Burns.
Looks like the velocity on the fastball is every bit as good in the 7th inning as it was in the 1st for Isaiah Henderson.
High fly ball into the second baseman's area. He calls it. Everyone stays away. And that'll end the inning after 3 up, 3 down on just a handful of pitches. We're going into extra innings. It's free baseball in Arlington. No score. Off for the Volunteers in the top of the 8th inning, number 6, Andrew Vega. Brent, we're playing free baseball, extra innings, top of the 8th, no score. The number 8 hitter, Andrew Vega, steps up to the plate, swings and misses for strike one from Ben Shryock. Coming in relief for Luke Lazier, who had 6 strikeouts. Did a great job, hit that pitch count limit, I believe. Wow, there's a swing and a miss.
And, Bill, what did the announcer for Bowie, who was up in the booth before the game, tell us was going to happen?
Yeah.
Extra innings. He predicted it.
He did.
I don't think he saw it 0-0, but he did predict
extra
that we
innings.
would go extras.
Yeah.
He watched a lot of
Yadi
baseball.
Pagan, who worked with me a lot up in this booth back in his high school days. Great guy. That pitch missed, so the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. We'll do it. Was he looking or did he swing?
Looking. No, swung. He swung.
Okay.
Breaking ball for a call. Swung, 3rd strike.
Hey, baseball fans, Dollar Dogs, $2 burgers while they last. Get them hot, get them fresh. Dollar Dogs, $2 burgers. The next batter, number 3, Alex Rojas.
It's a beautiful pitch by Ben to get that 3rd strike, swung strike. Curveball, just perfect.
Number 9 hitter, Alex Rojas. The left fielder comes up to the plate. 1 out, nobody on. Ball 1. The 1-0 pitch. 2-0. Pretty good crowd here for both teams.
No school tomorrow,
That's right.
Easter break.
The 2-0. High fly ball. It goes into shallow left field. The shortstop, Grafton Owings, he drops it. He had it looked all the way into his glove. Unfortunately, that's an E6. That'll put the number 9 hitter, Rojas, on. Number 5, Jackson Turner. Now, a lot of times you go, oh no, the number 9, their second batter gets on base, but I'm not too concerned at this point.
with the double plays we've had.
Yeah.
But you hate to see the first error of the game by
Yeah.
either team.
Exactly. Pitch is outside for ball 1, maybe low.
You know, a tough one. You know, who's going to get it? Grafton very much called for it and was in shallow left by the time the ball got there, and I think he just kind of was too far back and had to come up a little late to get it or try to get it.
Brock Jackson did a great job keeping that last pitch that was outside in front of him. 2 balls and no strikes now. To the overall leadoff, Jackson Turner.
I think it'd be a great time to check the runner at first.
Just don't throw it away.
No, I know, but you know. It's,
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Oh, that pitch almost got away from him. Brock Jackson leaned over, moved over, reached out, and stabbed and caught that ball, keeping the runner at first base.
Now that's the Brock Jackson we know right there. That,
Yes.
The one that got past him tonight.
That was just
that
a
one
fluke.
might have erased that one that got past him.
Oh, at least, yeah. 3 balls and no strikes. Shryock offers it up. Strike 1. Runner at first, 1 out, no score, top of the 8th inning, which is extra innings in high school baseball. The 3-1 up high, that's going to walk him. Number 11, Christian Uribe. How about a double play to end this inning?
We've seen that before.
Oh, yeah. Uribe, struck out looking in the 6th, struck out looking in the 3rd. Looks at a ball for his first pitch this time. And he grounded out to the pitcher in the first inning, so he's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts, both looking. 1 ball, no strike. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Line drive just out of reach of the shortstop, Grafton Owings, and then the left fielder, Bouchel, bobbles the ground ball. 1 run will score, 2 runs will score. Scoring on the play, Alex Rojas and Jackson Turner. Well,
That was
0 for 3, he gets a double.
kind of add an insult to injury. That was a ball that I don't think Grafton made his
Number 9, Isaiah Henderson.
best jump he could. Unfortunately, he got past the left fielder, Connor Bouchel, and instead of 1 run scoring, 2 runs scored on the.
Now it's interesting they're not putting him on. They intentionally walked him last time
Yeah, at
to
this
load
point,
the
I think you
bases.
just pitch to him, or at least you pitch around him.
There's a pitch in the dirt. Brock Jackson moves over. He's got a little bit of something with his. Is it a left ankle? He's something didn't do right when that ball hit the dirt, and he's hurt. He's in pain. He moved over to keep that ball in front of him. He's over there now on his knees, kind of a squatting motion position, talking to the coaches. Ball, he moved over, it bounced weirdly. I'm not sure where it hit him, but he's in some pain, and it might have hit him in that very sensitive spot that we all, half the population knows about.
If so, that will pass, and that would be a good outcome compared to his hand or his knee or
Yeah.
something of that nature. So
Meanwhile, Henderson, the batter, 1 ball and no strikes to him. Runners at first base, runner at first, 2 runs have, runner at second base. 2 runs have scored this inning, so the Volunteers now lead 2-0 in the top of the 8th. Brock Jackson walks it off. I'll say it looked like some good sportsmanship by Henderson there, saying something to Brock Jackson nicely. Maybe a laughter, encouragement, or something.
I think David last week called that a cup check.
Yeah, okay. Probably it's the
To
right
try to
term
describe
for
it
it.
a little bit more.
1 out, runner at second. 1 ball, no strikes. Shryock, the pitcher, looks at second, steps off, draws the runner back to second. Looks back to get the sign from his catcher, Brock Jackson. He has the sign. Head swivels. He throws the second. Jackson Davis came over, and the runner gets back in time. Trying to hold that runner at second from getting. Here's the pitch. Inside edge of the plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. It's about to call that for the umpire.
Yeah,
I thought it was inside.
Went ahead and brings the count to 1-1.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. Henderson checks his swing, but it's a strike right down the middle. Is that a curveball?